The history of sake goes back thousands of years and has its roots in Japanese rice culture. It was once considered a sacred drink to be presented to the gods and served as a link between them and human beings. Cherished as the national alcoholic drink of Japan since ancient times, sake's unique sweetness and savoriness provided by use of rice as the central ingredient have enriched the lives of Japanese people throughout history. Today, we live in an era in which people all around the world can enjoy sake. Let's look together at how this alcoholic beverage is made and how it has evolved and spread. Alcoholic beverages evolve along with humanity and its history and culture, and alcohol in each country around the world has unique traditions and characteristics. In Europe, for example, grapes are grown widely, and thus wine was created, while abundant barley and wheat growth also led to the creation of beer. All of these beverages having been around since ancient times. As for Japan's sake, it is not a distilled alcohol, nor is it a fruit-based alcohol like wine. It is made of rice, which gives it diverse aromatic and flavor properties. In recent years, people around the world have been taking an interest in sake, yet the history of rice-based alcohol and when its production in Japan began is not actually known. However, old mythological records dating back thousands of years do make mention of sake. Furthermore, government certification of sake producers started as far back as 1,000 years ago. This started in the Kamakura period, which lasted from 1185 to 1333, when sake making was commercialized all throughout Japan, and the production methods we use today were established. Since then, Japanese people have continued to refine and develop strong ties with sake culture throughout their long history. There are currently hundreds of different types of rice grown in Japan, some of which are used to make sake. Rice designed specifically for use in sake making is known as shuzo kotekimai, meaning rice optimized for sake production. This type differs from standard rice used for consumption in that it contains less protein content, dissolves well over long periods in low-temperature moromi as fermentation mash, and facilitates effective alcoholic fermentation. Let's start by exploring the production process that creates the beverage known as sake. Sake production starts with rice polishing, washing, and soaking. Rice polishing refers to the milling away of each grain's outer layers. This is followed by washing of the rice and then soaking it so it can absorb water. Next, the rice is steamed. Sake rice is cooked using steam, resulting in rather hard and crumbly grains. After this, the rice is moved to a dedicated room where koji fungi is added and allowed to proliferate for 2 days. A process called koji batch production. The koji cultivated rice is moved to a tank, and then steamed rice, water, and the grown starter yeast, known as shubo, are added in stages. The shubo initiates the alcoholic fermentation process and creates what is known as the moromi, or fermentation mash. Over a 4-day period, the ingredients are gradually added, usually in 3 stages, to brew the alcohol. This important process is known as sandan jikomi, meaning 3-stage brewing process because of the 3 stages in which ingredients are added. After about 3 weeks of fermentation mash, the alcohol content reaches roughly 18% and fermentation begins to slow. In the final stage of production, the mash is pressed to separate the liquid from the sake lees, leaving behind the sake beverage. Japan's only national government research center for sake, the National Research Institute for Brewing, NRIB for short, carries out scientific research, such as production processes and others, in an effort to further advance sake production technologies and techniques. For more than a century now, the NRIB has been working on a wide variety of research, such as improving sake quality and brewing methods, while also holding evaluation awards every year. They host seminars to further the knowledge and skills of workers in the field and pursue scientific studies on trends in sake-making technologies and sake quality. NRIB is constantly seeking to improve product quality, production techniques, and establish standards for the sake brewing industry in Japan. Let's take a closer look at the potential of sake in the future based on scientific foundations fostered through the research at the NRIB. The more you learn about sake, the more fascinating it becomes. Now for a closer look.